Hello everyone, and thank you so much for coming onto your mat today. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with yourself on your mat and taking time out of the day for you. So this is the introduction to Yin Yoga with props over here. So Yin Yoga is such a beautiful practice because it's rooted in traditional Chinese medicine, which always correlates the scientific studies behind that. If you don't feel it, then you can't heal it, because emotions can get trapped in the body, which can lead in disease later on. And Yin Yoga is just such a beautiful practice because it allows us to stimulate certain organs that hold different emotions. Therefore, recentering them, getting rid of any energy stagnation in certain organs. So, beautiful practice today is going to be about intro to Yin Yoga. So, first grabbing your 2 blocks and your bolster. And remembering that with Yin Yoga, every pose is held between as little as 3 minutes and as late as 7 minutes. So each pose is going to be a little bit different, and I'll explain that and talk as we're holding the poses. But all the props, the better. And truly just allow the props to be your friends here and be gentle with yourself throughout your practice. So, first practice is going to be child's pose. In child's pose, I feel like there is a notorious feeling that child's pose is easy, and child's pose is not easy, which I think is why it's so special that we have all these props in Yin to make it more accessible. So, grabbing your bolster, and starting out with the bolster just in front of you for right now. And just starting to sway the hips side to side, getting rid of any tension you're holding in the lower back. And then moving your knees a little bit more than hips distance apart. And always a reminder, if this gets to be too much, you can always bring your knees together. And you're just sliding your bolster right in front of you so that your chest can melt over onto the bolster, looking in one direction. And you have your blocks here again to help you so that you can put the block underneath of your seat if you need a little bit of an extra lift, and feel free to put the second block there if you need it. But we'll be here for just a few moments, and then we'll switch sides. It's just allowing the shoulders to melt away from the ears. And just getting nice and comfy, and remembering if you don't have a bolster at home, you can use a few pillows just to allow yourself to be lifted and bringing the floor to you. Yin Yoga is amazing because I think a lot of times when people think of yoga, they think of vinyasa. And vinyasa is always so fast. Not always so fast. There's always a slow flow version. But Yin allows us to truly tap into the energy source inside of us and slowing down. I think many of us are going 100 miles an hour all day, every day, which is very yang. So again, that Yin allows us to tap into the receiving, the slowness, the moon, while yang is more sun and doing and active energy. Go ahead and turn your head to the other side. Just enjoying where you are. Letting the shoulders fall away from the ears. And slowly starting to come back to the center. Pushing your way up off the bolster. And moving the bolster to the side. Lifting up your seat, removing any blocks. And then bending the knees, just allowing a little windshield wiper side to side, loosening up any tightness in the hips and lower back. Alrighty, so next pose, start to bring your feet nice and wide and moving any fleshy bits out of the way from underneath of you. And while you're here, if you need to put an extra little pillow or blanket underneath of your seat to give you a little lift, you're more than welcome to that as well. And with your blocks, you're going to place one block in front of you on the lowest version, so it'll look like this, and then on the highest version with the second block. And basically you're creating a little ramp, and then with this lower block you have the option to take it up a little higher or lower, just depending on what your flexibility is in the hips with allowing yourself to lead forward. So placing the bolster here, and then just allowing yourself to be met by the bolster. And feeling that full support of the bolster here. Yin is also all about going inwards and coming into your own internal thoughts. And also creating that deep myofascial release deep in the joints and the ligaments that simple stretching doesn't do. When you hold these poses with the helps of the props, it really digs into those deep tightness parts of your body. go ahead and turn your head to the other side. Still staying here with me. Quads are still gently turned on. As you start to come back to the center, and gently peeling your way back up. Rolling the shoulders back and down. Placing the bolster to the side. And the blocks to the side. And setting up for our final resting pose of Shavasana. Yin Shavasana is always around 7 minutes. We'll be here for a shorter amount of time. But feel free to stay as long as you'd like, as long as the time allows. Starting to wiggle fingers and toes. Rolling over onto one side. Then gently making your way into a seat. On your next breath in, bring your arms high to the sky. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Thank you so much for showing up to your mat with me today and taking time for yourself. For the full class, you can go ahead and log into my website. Link will be in bio. Thank you so much.